Welcome to A Guide to Every Deck in EDH. Today we're looking at Omnath, Locus of All. So this is the 5-color Omnath with the black Phyrexian symbol. It's a 4/4 and it says if you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. And at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. And if you do, you add 3 mana in any combination of its colors and put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, you put it into your hand. So you always draw a card, but if you reveal a card that has 3 color pips in its cost, and those can be multicolor or all of the same color and mana, they just need to be 3 color pips, then we get to add mana. So with that said, this is mostly going to be a value deck that leverages Omnath's ability to generate more mana and to draw extra cards. And we are going to have to make significant concessions in order to jam in all of these multiple pips in the cost cards for the deck. So right away, we can see we have cards like Valgaboth, which has triple black in the cost, and we also have like the other Omnath, where it has 4 of all the color pips. So again, it doesn't matter whether the card is multicolor or not, it just matters, do we get the 3 color pips that we need? So we've got things like Valgaboth, Maelstrom Wanderer, Omnath, and Tivit as big value pieces. Down here is Atraxa, Grand Unifier, and Baleful Force. It's also nice that Bolas's Citadel and Necropotence count towards our creature. Also, it's better if cards orient towards black because the unspent mana becomes black, and therefore we can use it on these cards. Then we have Genesis Ultimatum. Look at the top 5 and put any number of permanents from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest into your hand. Glarb, Calamity Augur, which lets us look at the top and play lands and cast spells with mana value 4+. Helga, which allows us to draw cards when we cast creatures with mana value 4 or greater. Also adds mana for creatures. Two-Headed Hellkite is a 5/5 Flying Menace haste with whenever it attacks, draw 2 cards. Also, multiple sides of rooms in combination. This counts as having 3 black pips in the cost, so Unholy Annex, Ritual Chamber. We also have Unite the Coalition, a 7 mana instant that says choose 5 and you can choose the modes more than once. Target permanent phases out, target player draws a card, exile target player's graveyard, Unite does 2 damage to any target, or destroy target artifact or enchantment. Obviously depends on what you need to do. Villas, Broker of Blood also counts, and Whirlwind of Thought for more card draw. Then we have some of our cheat spells, so these are cards that allow us to cheat things in. So as seen before, Genesis Ultimatum, but we also have Arthur Marigold Knight. Whenever it and at least one other creature attack, we look at the top 6. You can put a creature from among them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and put the rest on the bottom, then return the creature to its owner's hand at end of combat. We have Galta as another way to just cheat in all of our creatures. And then cards that didn't hit the pips but we're still going to play anyway are Defense of the Heart, Hunting Grounds, and Selvala Stampede for more ways of cheating stuff in. We've got Annie Joins Up, which is both a removal spell and a way of doubling the trigger on not just Omnath, but many of the other cards in our deck. A bunch of counter spells with particular attention given to invert polarity over here. We have, of course, our rainbow mana base. We have to have access to all colors, so you can see here, this is a pretty expensive mana base. I again recommend just proxying cards, but again, if you're unwilling to do that, you can cut most of this for shock lands, for the battle bond lands, etc. A little bit of protection for Omnath, although in this deck, we don't necessarily need our commander in play. It's more just a value piece in a sea of different value pieces. A whole bunch of ramp. Eerie Ultimatum to reanimate any number of permanents. We have some removal, including Archdruid's Charm and Soul of Emancipation, which is a Terastodon variant, along with Void Rend. Ruinous Ultimatum amongst our sweepers. And then in our tutor section, aside from Archdruids, we also have Rocco, Cabaretti Caterer as another way of fetching out creatures in a way that is also possibly less difficult to use than Court of Calling, which also would work here, but the triple green might be a little hard to use over only one of each pip. And obviously there are a lot of other cards we could have played, so cards like Omniscience, Zakama, Archmage's Charm, Dune Blast, but there's only so many cards we can play, and there's only so much use that we can get out of these things. Ultimately, things like Archmage's Charm are also probably just not worth the cost of having this triple blue spell that's going to be very difficult to cast a lot of the time. Dune Blast, pretty good, but we're also going to blow up a lot of our other creatures, including our Mana Dork, so problems with all of these. Ultimately decided not to run these, but there's many other cards that you could run in the deck. And obviously, there is no combo, there is no, Thassa's Oracle plus Demonic Consultation. It's mainly just trying to win with a bunch of these big bomb creatures and assembling card advantage that is superior to our opponents. And so anyways, with all that said, that is going to do it for Omnath, Locus of All in EDH.